Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Shreya and I look like crap right now because I actually just finished this book, which is Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. I realized I forgot to film an intro, so that's what I'm doing right now. If you want to see all of my thoughts and my emotions and reactions to reading this book, it is a non-spoiler reading vlog, then go ahead and watch this video. I would love it if you could click the thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'm so excited for you guys to go on this journey with me. If you know me, you know I love Magnolia Parks. It's my favorite series in the entire world, and I was super scared going into this book just because of the way the last one ended, and I can't wait for you to watch this vlog. So without further ado, let's get into the emotional, crazy mess that is Magnolia Parks. I'm only 30 pages in. It's so devastating. So sad already, and I knew it would be, but I didn't expect to be crying like the second chapter in, and I already feel like I need a break. So I think I'm gonna go to bed actually and read in the morning and not get all depressed at 10 o'clock at night. I always forget, I think, how beautiful Jess's writing is and just like the emotions that she tends to bring out. And she said that it's super easy for her to do it because she's been doing it ever since she was little, and I can tell that she's like definitely a pro because holy crap, it's already so beautiful, but it's just really heavy and so sad. Obviously, if you know the ending of the third book. So I'm gonna take a break and I'm only 30 pages in. It is the next morning. I'm 10 chapters in now, 100 pages in. I literally, as you could see, could not go on last night. So when I woke up, it was the first thing I did, and yes, it was more bearable. Still very painful, but it wasn't unbearable. Like, I wasn't breaking down crying. And I think the thing is, at this point, these characters feel so real to me. Like, I care for them a lot. So when they hurt, I hurt. It takes place 3 months after the events of The Long Way Home, but we keep on getting flashbacks to that time and how raw and painful it was for the whole crew to deal with it. It's very real depictions of grief and how it's just not linear. And Magnolia had definitely regressed. Like, she has an eating disorder now that took her so long to overcome. She's so paranoid about getting into cars. She's very paranoid about what BJ eats. She's literally like honed in on death statistics and how many people die a year, what they die from, and she's just trying to beat death on all ends now because she just cannot handle somebody else dying. Like, she cannot handle another bad thing happening. And so we all know Magnolia and her thoughts and how she spirals, and it's really bad. It's really bad in this book, but it's just like hitting me like wave after wave after wave. I'm going to read a little bit more, and hopefully it gets happier. We need something happy to happen. I want to take my time with this, but I also can't take my time with it because it's genuinely so good. I am so scared to just not have any more Magnolia and BJ content, which is crazy because I'm only on page like 200, 150. And I'm like, I don't want it to be over yet. It's just so good. And I just love seeing all the characters and their interactions, and it's just crazy because I don't really agree with the way that this friend group thinks all the time, and just the decisions they make and how they decide to treat people based on the actions that they did. Like, for example, with BJ and Polly, for some reason, like, they figured BJ but not Polly, and that just seemed a little weird to me. I guess it's a little crazy to me because Magnolia and BJ have literally been through so much. Magnolia still has trust issues. Like, every single time she feels like BJ is pulling away or like not with her, like present in the moment, her mind always reverts to, oh my god, he's cheating on me, what if he's cheating on me? And I think that that's really interesting. Also, like, just the fact that she stayed with him. Like, I know we've been through this so many times before, especially at this point in Magnolia Park, but like, I haven't been cheated on before, so I don't know what it feels like. But I would like to think that I'm someone that would not stay with somebody that cheated on me. But I know that it's like different in the context of the story, but I still like grapple with that, especially since Magnolia has like had amazing men in these books that have loved her and cared for her and like tried to be with her. So my mind still grapples on that a little bit, but the fact that she still had like major trust issues is like crazy to me, that like she would go through so much and still choose to be with BJ, but still like assume that he's cheating on her when he obviously loved her very much. It is like very interesting to me that Magnolia is literally engaged to this man, had been through so much with him, and is still so worried and just like always asking him like reassuring questions. She's definitely a words of affirmation girly. I hit page 300. It's 8 o'clock at night. I didn't read as much as I wanted to today, but I hung out with my best friend I haven't seen in a long time for like 5 hours, and that was what I needed, but also like I was dying to get back to these characters. I am having a good time so far, and I know the long way home felt pretty heavy and it was sad, but this one is just so heavy and so sad, and I'm loving it, but it's also so painful. And I wanted to read you a couple of quotes. So this quote is from Bridget's funeral. This is Magnolia speaking, and she said, "How many loves do you get in a lifetime? That's a question I've wondered before. If you ask the sun, I've had far too many, and in some ways that's true. I have, but actually I've only had 2 great ones. I avoided the eyes of both Tom and Christian as I stared at the only great one I have left." It's just so good. It's so good. I'm literally tearing up just reading that. Oh my god. This is the next quote. "While every other body on the planet is made up of 60% water, Baxter James Valentine is 60% sunshine. And if you could squeeze the arm of sunshine, of course you would." I just love how he's just so golden retriever, and it's adorable, and the quotes by Jessa are just so good. This next quote is BJ talking. "I framed my life by loving her because the most defining things that have happened to me, bar 2 maybe, have been to do with her or because of her or with her, and frankly I'm not interested in living or having ever lived any kind of life that was apart from her." Won't say all that to this relative stranger though, and I'm just like, that is just so beautiful. There's so many quotes like that just like threaded and laced throughout the book, but that one I was like, I have to talk to you guys about. And then also I just think it's really funny because Daisy actually did come back around the 200 mark of the book, which I don't think is a spoiler. I hope it's not a spoiler, but I am a Daisy Hates girly through and through, and I just can't wait. From what I've gathered in Magnolia's perspective, her, Daisy and Christian like are back together instantly, so that makes me very happy. Okay, and then I have one more quote to share with you. It's just so beautiful, and it really affected me, so I have to share it. "There's magic in those links of his, I think. I've always suspected that to be true. They make you braver and stupider. I've done 1,000 questionable things because BJ Valentine winked at me and gave me a half smile, and my stomach dropped 3 stories inside my chest cavity. I hope he winks at me forever." It's too much. Literally, it's just too much, and I don't know why I'm so just affected. I think it's because I'm so emotionally attached to these characters, and the writing is so beautiful. Usually when we read about Magnolia and BJ, we read about the frivolous little things that they do to hurt each other, and yes, there are some heavier things, but it's mostly them like hurting each other, but the stakes aren't like super high, I guess. But this just feels so much different in that aspect. I am loving it, but my heart hurts. I just adore this book, adore these characters, and it's like really hard for me to fathom that they're not real, which is like so funny because of course they're not real, they're book characters, but I don't believe it. Like, I genuinely don't believe they're not real. Let me just say, this is not a spoiler, but I always have been and always will continue to be a Julian Hates girly. I love Julian Hates. He is my favorite book boyfriend, if that's what you want to call him, like ever. There was just a moment in the book that I don't want to spoil, so I'm just gonna say I'm a Julian Hates girly through and through. Like, I really love him, and I know that we're gonna get 2 more Daisy Hates books, and I'm hoping and praying, guys, that Julian gets a happy ending. Like, I want Julian to meet a girl and just fall in love, and she loves him back, and it's just perfect. And I am manifesting love for Julian Hayes. I also have seen multiple Q&As of like Jessa kind of being mad that people are like so obsessed with Julian. She's not really mad about it. She's just like, guys, remember, like, this is the ending that Magnolia wants and needs and deserves, and so this is what feels right. And I know you guys love Julian, but like, be careful, because I can kill him off in the next book. I hope she doesn't do that. I absolutely love Julian. I just love this book, and I'm naturally going fast just because I'm in the story. I don't feel like I'm going fast, but then I look at the page count and I'm like, oh my god, I just love them. Like, I just love them. I could read about them doing the most boring, banal things, and I would still want like 800 pages of that. So I think that we got super lucky that Jessa decided to treat us with a much longer book than the others have been in the past. And yeah, I'm just enjoying my time. Like, it's so sad and devastating, like the undertones are, even when they're having happy moments. It is representative of life, but also not, because it's like so different. Like, I can't even imagine what their lives are like. But also, it's like the little things too that are fun, like looking up what some of the clothes are and just like really imagining it in my head. And I just love this world, and I really think it is just unlike any other. I love it, and I think Jessa's writing is amazing. Obviously, it is also very interesting to like read this book, see her writing, love it. After I read Never by her and didn't really like that book, but the writing in it was still beautiful. But it didn't work for that in my opinion, but it works so well in this book. I come from a good family, everyone knows that. My parents were great, roof over my head. I never really wanted much, really. And still, she's the only home I've ever been interested in having. Her body is the walls, heart the ceiling. I'll live here forever. This is so embarrassing. I just wanted to share with you guys like the beautiful quote. I didn't mean to just start tearing up. It's so beautiful. I'm just so happy that I exist in a time where I get to read these. I'm a mess. Okay, one more quote, and then I promise I won't bother you guys until I'm like significantly into this book. Magnolia told BJ, because the whole thing is like, I didn't have a choice to love you. Like, I just did. You walked in the room and I was gone. She said, I feel that it's important to know that even if I didn't love you in this sort of stupid, embarrassing way that I do, if I did hypothetically have a choice, I would choose you anyway. I'm over 50% done, and honestly, this is what Magnolia Parks is like, and I know this is also a reason why a lot of people don't care for it, but there's not a lot of plot. It's just vibes. It's just following these people around on their everyday lives, and I love that, but I don't really know how it's gonna end. There doesn't seem to be a plot, but I don't want it to end, but I just wanted to update you guys that I'm at the 50% mark, and I actually like have a meeting that I need to get to. So I don't know how much more I'm gonna read today, but it's been a wonderful, amazing experience thus far. I just hit the 500 page mark, so I only have 200 pages to go. Really made a huge dent in the book, and I was watching Rachel Catherine's vlog, and she said that this is the first book where she like actually felt bad for Magnolia, and I am gonna sound like a horrible person, but I definitely like feel bad because she's going through like awful things that would make me feel bad for anybody. Her mannerisms and like the way that she speaks and acts like almost make me not feel bad for her, but also we're getting so much backstory into how she was raised and why she is the way she is, that it like makes sense why she has so many defense mechanisms just like in place, and it really makes sense in the way that she speaks, especially to her parents and everybody that just really let her down. The book is definitely way heavier. Obviously we knew that going into it, but we're just learning a lot more backstory that I didn't quite expect to get in this book. So I'm really understanding Magnolia a lot more into why she is the way that she is and why she acts and talks the way that she is. I have definitely loved my time. I'm 500 pages in and I have still never felt bored. I just have to say that I'm so excited but also not excited and like scared to read the next Daisy Hates book, because there's a lot of things that are going on in here that I truly don't, and oh my god, I'm holding it backwards. There's just a lot of things in here that I don't understand, and obviously none of us understand, and so getting to see it from the other perspective is going to be really interesting. Also, I was just talking about how Magnolia kind of annoys me, but also her persistence for fighting for the people that she loves and cares about, even when they're so like cruel to her, is really admirable, and I am finding myself softening up and easing up on her throughout the book. And as we have it, I only have like 100 pages left. I just can't stop. This book can be so happy and have the best highs and then just like hit you out of nowhere. BJ and Parks, obviously, like I am almost done, are talking about Bridget, and he says, wherever she is, it's good. I know it is. How? I ask. He shrugs like it's easy. Because she's there. Death and grief is something that we all go through or will go through at some point, and so just being kicked in the face over and over again in this book is something that is so relatable, because it's something that like hits you in moments where you're not expecting it. Maybe that's what the Northern Lights are. Once upon a time, 1,000 years ago, a Viking really loved the shit out of this one girl, and that's what it is. Proof that he loved her all over the sky. Proof that love is this sort of transcendent thing. Proof that love actually is the only thing worth spending your life trying to do, you know? This book is making me go soft. So I finished the book about an hour ago and I just needed to process, but basically I was pacing back and forth in my room just like crying and sobbing, and it was really embarrassing. It was more basically what I was doing in the last clip, where I was just crying and looking really ugly. I have been so blessed lately in the month of February to just read amazing books, but this one takes the cake. I think this is probably going to be my #1 book of 2024. I literally don't know how it could get any better. I can't see it getting any better from this. It's just perfect. At this point, I had already fallen in love with all the characters. I cared so much, and honestly, the character growth from the first Magnolia Parks book all the way to this had been immaculate and spectacular, and it's 5 stars, of course. 5 million bajillion stars. So good, so devastating, really hard to read, but just so beautiful. And I was really scared because I saw reading vlogs of people being like, it ends how it's supposed to end, like it ends perfectly for them, and that made me scared because they are a toxic couple. But I can really say the book does end perfectly and perfectly for them, and I highly recommend you read this book, read the series if you haven't already. It's my favorite thing in the entire world. It lives rent free in my mind, and even from the year that it took from me not having any new books in the series to read, I still thought about them every single day. And now with all of this, I'm so excited to read the Daisy Hates books, and I honestly, I'm gonna tear up just thinking about it. It's amazing. I think this is my favorite book series of all time. Like, I can't think of anything that's better than this. It's just so good and real and raw and just amazing. Like, Jessa really chose to end it well and end it by tackling really heavy and severe things, and so it just feels right and feels like it ended on a perfect note. Alright guys, so that was it for this reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that I didn't cringe you out with all of my crazy emotions and crying, and I will see you in my next video. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.